So here's something hopefully you Chevy truck owners will never have to go through. Now, any Chevy truck owner knows about the gauge clusters always going bad. Well, that's another thing that's the matter with this truck. Today is transmission linkage cables. Oh, now we have this. This cable here is seized. Ended up going for a drive through it in park. Well, it didn't go into park. It let me took the key out of the ignition, and the truck rolled back and almost rolled right over a little shit Vic. So anyway, we have a seized cable. $60 from Rock Auto. Pretty straightforward. One problem I had though was the truck was actually in gear when I shut it off, and with the starter safety switch I couldn't get it to restart. So under here, get into a better position here, there's the end of your cable, and that there is your linkage, which shifts into different gears. Right now it is pointing to the front of the truck. That means it's in park. There's reverse, neutral, drive, third, second, first, and so forth. So this cable's seized, you can tell. All the funky noises it makes. Hopefully no Chevy truck owner will ever have to go through this, but if it does, your gear shifter starts getting stiff on you, well, there's a good chance that you're not going to be able to shift gears pretty soon. So you might want to check into it. Very straightforward. No snap rings holding these on. They just pry off. Just take an ordinary flathead screwdriver, wedge it in between, and it'll just pop right off. Actually, you can even pull it off with just your hand. This cable was so badly screwed up that it was actually in first gear when I pulled that off. So definitely some problems there. You will notice if you take your drive shaft out for your four-wheel drive that it will make things a little easier for you to work on. I just reinstalled it just a few minutes ago. Hopefully now you have to go through this. I'm going to use this old cable, blasting wire, and attach it to my transmission and run it to the back of the truck. I won't be able to put it in park unless I go underneath the truck, but at least I'll be able to get it into gear and put the truck on the ramp so I can change the cable over. I just ordered the cable, so I don't have the cable today, but at least if I can get the truck moved up onto the ramps, I can at least get the old cable out of there. It's a real pain. Like I say, hopefully none of you Chevy truck owners have to go through this, because it really is quite silly when you ask me, oh, how come you didn't make it into work today? Well, I couldn't get my transmission to get into gear. Yeah. If you have an older model Chevy car or truck, you'll notice that you have a linkage rod connected to your gear shift to your transmission. Fail-proof system. Never failed. But trucks with a cable, you will notice that instead of the cable going through the firewall, it goes right under along the floor pan. And there's a rubber grommet there in the floor pan. It goes straight through and then hooks into the transmission. In my opinion, it's just quite silliness, actually. Why they couldn't just do it the old way, fail-proof system. But GM makes money off stuff like this. Something that breaks, well, hey, a couple extra bucks in their pocket. Like I say, some of you may have to deal with this. Some of you might. Guess what this is for? You got her. My shift cable. Make sure you have an assistant when you're doing this. I should also mention that even here, where your gear shift is, no snap ring, nothing at all, nothing special. All that's holding it all it does is snap on there. Nothing fancy. One thing I should mention when you're doing something like this, there is a fuse for your airbag. You should pull that fuse when you are messing around with the steering column. Just pull that fuse and wait a few minutes. It's a good idea too.